Hey guys, so today's video is going to be my foundation collection. I know I said I would be filming a makeup collection video, which I kind of am. I'm just breaking them up into several videos. And the reason is because when I posted a video the other day asking you guys to leave a ton of comments with requests, like what videos you would want to see from me, I noticed that so many of you told me not to do a full-blown makeup collection, but to split it up into sections and show you a collection kind of like in each category. Because if I sat here and just took you around to all my makeup, I wouldn't show you every single thing. I would kind of give you a general view, which I know some of you really wanted and some of you didn't. So I'm kind of confused. Definitely leave me a comment down below if you like this style or if you just want one specific video. If more of you want just an overall general view, I'll do that. But if you like this style, let me know. I have done videos like this in the past already, but I feel like I haven't done one recently and we need an update. So I'm splitting up my makeup collection into sections. Today is just foundations because I have a million of those, but next time I'll do like tinted moisturizers and concealers and then primers and powders or whatever, just so you can see everything individually, but I am still taking you through my storage. Last time I did a makeup stash video where I showed you my entire highlighter collection, my entire bronzer collection. Last time I did that, I was just kind of like sitting here and showing you. This time I'm going to take you through my actual storage, if that makes any sense. I think the next one I'm going to do is tinted moisturizers and primers because that's the second drawer down. You'll see the drawer in a minute, I'll show you. But yeah, that's basically what this video is gonna be. I'm gonna show you my foundation collection and how I store my foundations on my vanity or in my vanity. And this isn't gonna be a declutter video. I know that was super requested. I kind of had a little mini series on my Snapchat where I decluttered a ton of stuff. Let me explain something really quick, really fast. I get so much makeup. Not only do I get sent a lot of makeup from companies, I'm constantly buying a lot of makeup just because I don't wanna only show things I get sent for free. I want to make sure I am purchasing things all the time, which I know sounds crazy. It kind of sounds like I have a shopping addiction, but it's for my channel. It's for my job. That's what I tell myself. So because of that, I have so much makeup. And I got to a point where I'm just constantly decluttering. Not like all at once, but I'm constantly giving things away. And don't get me wrong, you're gonna look at these foundations and be like, wow. I know, I do. I have a lot of foundations. I have a lot of makeup, but it comes with the territory. I keep things on hand to review, to compare to other formulas. Sometimes I hold on to something I don't really use just for reference. You understand. I don't have to sit here and make a disclaimer. And also, I wanted to mention that when I'm done with my makeup collection, when I show you everything, I'm gonna do a room tour. I'm gonna take you around the entire room, show you where I got stuff and, you know, all that stuff. So yeah, I think that's all I wanted to say. Without further ado, if you want to see all the foundations I own, we'll just keep watching. Okay guys, so this is my vanity. This is where you see me filming in front of whenever I do more chatty videos. A lot of you guys know this already, but some of you don't. Danny actually built this desk for me. But this is where I keep all my foundations, in the top drawer right there. And if you are wondering why this drawer is whiter than these two, that's because it is. Funny story, when Danny went to build this desk, he had gotten all the materials. This is Formica, and he thought he had enough to complete the entire desk. But then he realized he was missing one section, and when he went back to Home Depot to get more Formica in this color, they were sold out. They only had this extremely white shade. So that's why. Gotta love DIY. I actually love that about my desk. I think it's funny. Anyway, I got these knobs from Anthropologie. So I keep all of my foundations in this top drawer right here. This is an acrylic organizer to put all of your foundations. It's from the brand Sunny Cosmetics. I love this thing. I bought it a couple of months ago. I will link the website down below, even though I think it's currently sold out. And it fits perfectly in the Alex drawers that are made by IKEA, if you have those. I love this because my favorite way to store foundations is standing up. And every time I tried to open this drawer, foundations would just fall everywhere. So the only thing I don't love about this setup, it doesn't pull out far enough, so I kind of have to reach to the back to grab my stuff, but that's not a big deal. In the back row, I have my Makeup Forever Face and Body foundations. The first two are actually the original formula of the Face and Body. I much prefer the original formula. This is my favorite foundation of all time. Still haven't found a foundation that compares to this. The Face and Body foundation from MAC breaks me out terribly. I have no sensitivity to this one. It just looks so beautiful. It is a light coverage, but you could definitely build it up. It never ever gets cakey. Even when my skin is the driest, this foundation is amazing. Every time I go out at night where I know I'm going to be taking photos, this is the foundation I wear. It also lasts the longest on me out of all my foundations. It never looks bad. If you're someone who suffers from a lot of breakouts, you might want to use concealer with this because it is a little bit sheer sheer, but the finish is beautiful. I am in the shade 20 normally, which is this one, and then when I'm really self-tan, I'm in the shade 32. And then on the same row back there, I have these 3 foundations. It's still the same foundation, only now it's called the Water Blend Foundation. I like it a lot, but I don't love it as much as I like the Face and Body. Totes disappointed they changed the formula. I have 2 Healthy Mix serums from Bourjois. This is such an amazing foundation. It used to be like my holy grail. I used it all the time. I'm usually in this shade, which is 52 Vanilla, but sometimes when I'm a little bit tanner, I will use this one. This is 53 Light Beige. This has a gel consistency, and when you apply it to your skin, it feels so hydrating and smooth. It sinks right into the skin. The only thing I don't absolutely love about this is the scent. It has a very strong scent. It's not a bad scent, it's just very strong, but it goes away after you blend it in. I purchased these on Amazon. It has light to medium coverage, but I definitely think you can build it up. It just makes me look youthful and fresh. I also have 2 Rimmel Lasting Finish foundations. I purchased this because I wanted to do a waterproof test makeup tutorial, but summer came and went and I never filmed it. I actually haven't used this foundation yet because I'm waiting for that video. All I know is that I hear people raving about it. Supposedly it's a very long wearing foundation and it was really affordable. I have 2 shades, 100 Ivory and 200 Soft Beige. And then the last foundation on this row is the Becca Aqua Luminous Perfecting Foundation. I had a phase where I was using this constantly, but then I kind of stopped using it once I was having those really bad skin issues. I highly recommend this foundation if you have dry skin and you don't need much coverage, because this is like the sheerest foundation I have. But if you're looking for something really sheer and really dewy, something that will just even out your skin tone and make it look extra hydrated and extra healthy, then I recommend this. I love this foundation in the summer. This is the Benefit Hello Flawless Oxygen Wow Foundation. It has an SPF of 25 and it's oil free. I would consider this like pretty average. I have drugstore foundations I love more than this. It's nice, it's just not amazing. The coverage is sheer, but you can get a medium coverage after I build up about 2 layers of this. Oh, by the way, in the Benefit foundation, I'm in the shade Light. In this foundation, I'm in the shade Ivory. Again, this is another one of those perfect for dry skin, and it's just nice. It's like an average, it's okay. It's like, you know, not the best, but not the worst for sure. Next up is this Sonia Kashuk Soft Focus Satin Matte Foundation. I picked up the shade Vanilla, but it is a little bit too light for me. I haven't tried this foundation yet. It's actually pretty new. I just picked this up at Target. I wanted to review it, but since it was too light, I have to go back and get another shade. Some people hate it, some people love it. I'm not sure. Leave me a comment down below. Do you like this foundation? Do you think I would like this foundation? The bottle was so beautiful, I just had to pick it up. How stunning is this Sonia Kashuk packaging? Next up, I have 2 Makeup Forever Ultra HD foundations. I have Y305 normally, and then 127 is when I'm like really tan. There was a point where this was like my ultimate holy grail, or at least second after the Face and Body, but I've just been using other foundations over this. I love it though. I do like this formula better than their older one. I think it's a little bit more natural looking than their original HD. It looks beautiful in photography. It goes on really smooth. It's not too dewy. It's not too matte. I would say it has more of a satin finish. Next up is the Laura Mercier Candle Glow Soft Luminous Foundation. I also had a phase where I was wearing this non-stop. This is in the shade Dusk. It actually reminds me a lot of the Becca one with a little bit more coverage, and this one is also not as dewy. I don't know, there's something about it that just makes your skin look so fresh. The only thing with this is that I have to 100% set it. This will settle right into my smile lines. Most foundations do on me. I have like very deep smile lines, I guess, and foundations love to live in those lines. But this one especially like really gets in them lines. But I look past that because the finish is so pretty. When I just want something really natural and beautiful, I will go for this. I mean, I have a lot of foundations that are very natural, but this one is a good one, and I like that it has a pump. I also have this Laura Mercier foundation. This is their Silk Cream Moisturizing Photo Edition Foundation. This one is the one for dry skin, and then they have another one for oily skin. I really love this. I just don't use it as often because it's in the shade Bamboo Beige, and this is way too dark for me. But the finish is really beautiful. It has that moussey consistency. Oh, that color doesn't look too bad. The coverage is really great on this one. I get full coverage, and it just makes your skin look flawless. Literally flawless. This is the Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless Foundation. I no longer own the one for dry skin, and I know you're thinking, what? You like the matte and poreless more than the dry skin one? And actually I do, believe it or not. There's something about this foundation, even though it has a matte finish, it looks perfect. It doesn't cling on to any dry skin. This is one of my favorite drugstore foundations, hands down. It fills in the pores really nice, and it's just not too matte. It doesn't have that flat, dry look to your skin. I like this foundation way more than the L'Oreal one that's matte. Next up is another drugstore favorite for me. This is the Milani Conceal and Perfect 2-in-1 foundation and concealer. This is in the shade Creamy Vanilla. It's a little bit too yellow for my skin tone, but I make it work because I really like the finish. This has extreme coverage. There's a reason why they call it foundation and concealer. It's very thick and it's also very moussey. Let me show you. It's like thick, look at that, like that's thick. Look at that, you even see like it has like little whipped mountains. The more you blend it in, the more natural it looks. I don't know how to explain it. My favorite way to use this foundation is definitely with a beauty blender. I just feel like the finish is a little bit more natural. If I use a brush, it will look too cakey. It'll look way too heavy on my dry skin. A little goes a very long way with this guy. It will look cakey if you apply too much, so be really careful with this one. But when I sheer it out, it just looks so flawless. Next up is the Kiko Universal Fit Hydrating Foundation. I love this foundation because it's in a squeezy tube. If I ever had a makeup brand, my foundations would be in a squeezy tube. I love squeezy tubes way more than I like foundations with a pump, just because I feel like you really squeeze out all of the product. And they're so travel friendly, like you could just throw this in a makeup bag. I also had an obsession with this foundation at one point. I was using it all the time. It looks really nice on the skin. It's not too dewy, but it's not too matte. I wouldn't say it's extremely hydrating, but it doesn't emphasize any of my dry skin, and that's all I can ask for, really. I love this. Kiko is one of the more affordable brands, and I think this foundation is completely underrated. Next up is the e.l.f. Moisturizing Foundation Stick. Oh, by the way, in the Kiko foundation, I'm in the shade light beige. In this foundation, I'm in the shade nude. Major downside to this e.l.f. foundation is the color selection sucks. This foundation is awesome. It's very moisturizing. Like, they ain't kidding. It's very moisturizing, very dewy, very hydrating, but it's just so practical. I love the fact that it's in a stick. You just paint this on your face, you blend it in with a brush or a sponge, and you're good to go. This is definitely my favorite foundation stick at the drugstore. I have a whole drugstore foundation stick video. I will link it down below. I also have a high-end version. I will link it down below. I reviewed a bunch of foundation sticks. Next up is one of my favorite foundations of all time. I also think this foundation is pretty underrated. There was a time where a lot of people were talking about it on YouTube, but I feel like people stopped talking about it. This is the EX1 Invisiwear foundation. I have the shade F100 and F200 when I'm like, you know, super tan and Jennifer Lopez. I don't know what it is about this that I love so much, but every time I put it on, I'm like, wow, I need to wear this foundation more often. I do believe it looks invisible on the skin. When you put it on, you don't tell yourself like, wow, I look like I'm wearing foundation. It looks like your skin. It looks very natural, but the coverage is there. I get really great coverage out of this, and it wears for a super long time. I have nothing negative to say about this. Literally, I love that it has a pump. I love the packaging. I love everything about this foundation. Next up is the CoverGirl Outlast Stay Luminous Foundation. I'm in the shade 842. This foundation is currently a little bit too dark for me. I don't really wear it often. I haven't worn it in a while, but I keep it because I like it. It has a slight shimmer to it. If you look at the bottle really closely, there's like a golden sheen, and I would usually stay far away from that, but it looks so pretty in the summertime. I couldn't get enough. I remember I was wearing this non-stop at one point as well. You cannot see that in the video at all. You cannot tell that there's glitter on your face unless you get really close to a camera or a mirror, I'm sorry. It just looks like your face naturally has a beautiful golden glow to it. I don't know, I really like it. It's a luminous foundation that has really good coverage, which sometimes it's hard to find that. I keep a Too Faced Born This Way foundation in hopes that I'll fall in love with it someday. I've always been on the fence with this. Sometimes I hate it, sometimes it's okay. I don't know, it looks a little bit heavy on my skin. It looks a little bit cakey. It's not a must-have for me. I can do without it, but I hold on to it because I don't know, I want to love it so bad. But I'm in the shade Porcelain, and sometimes it looks nice, you know, but sometimes it doesn't. I don't know. Is this one of your favorites? Let me know. This is the Kojin Do Aqua Foundation, and girl, that's expensive, but I love it. I don't know what makes this foundation so unique to me. I am in love with the finish of this. It makes your skin look dewy in a naturally dewy way, like if your foundation or like your skin is naturally that dewy. It's so beautiful. I'm in the shade 213. It's a little bit olive tone for me. I would say the coverage is light to medium, but you could definitely build this up. In my opinion, it never looks cakey. I can apply layer after layer. It's not as sheer as the Makeup Forever Face and Body, but it is as liquidy and it's as hydrating. It just has more more coverage. It just looks really beautiful. I don't know how to explain it. It's really beautiful. I personally think it's worth the money. This is the Tarte Rainforest of the Sea foundation. This is in the shade Light Sand. It's a little bit too pink for me, even though it doesn't look pink in the bottle. For some reason, when I apply this to my skin, it oxidizes to like a slightly pink color, but I keep it and I use it because I love this foundation. I rarely wear it on camera, but I wear it off camera all the time. It's a water foundation, but it has more of a matte natural finish, at least on my skin. This looks so pretty. It dries really fast, so you have to work with it really fast. But once it's dry and it's on your skin, it just makes your skin look flawless. It has really good coverage. It's SPF 15. And even though it has SPF, I don't think it has a white flashback in photos. I have a mini version of the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Foundation. This is also expensive, but this smaller bottle is less expensive, but still expensive considering you get so little product. I can't make this foundation work. I try to love it. It looks so greasy on me. I always say this, but it makes me look like a greasy hot dog after like 5 hours. I don't know what it is, but this foundation does not last on the skin at all. But I keep it because initially when you first apply it, your skin looks amazing. So, I mean, I keep it for like videos if I want to wear it in my videos because it makes your skin look so beautiful. But if I want to wear this out, I don't wear this out. It breaks down really easily after a few hours and it just looks a little bit too greasy for me. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Magic Foundation. This is an average foundation for me, if I'm gonna be honest. It looks really pretty on the skin, but when I wear it, I don't look in the mirror and think like, wow, my skin looks really nice. It just doesn't do much for me. I might declutter this at some point in the near future. I really like the bottle and I really love Charlotte Tilbury, so I hold on to it. I'm in the shade of 4. I like the finish. It's just not it's not anything special in my opinion. Now these babies are special. Like my socks right here in the corner. I had to stand. My knees are on fire. This is the Dior Air Flash Foundation. I have 2 shades. I have 201, which is my normal shade, and I have 300, which is when I'm tan. This foundation is amazing. Amazing. I can't even express it. It's very expensive, but I do think it's worth the money. It's supposed to give you kind of like an airbrush look. The packaging is a little bit weird. It's kind of hard to use because it comes out like literally like that was my sound effect of foundation spraying out of this. It's supposed to give you like an airbrush flawless look, and I 1000% agree. I love spraying this on the back of my hand and then going in with a beauty blender and applying it that way, because if you try to spray this directly on your face, it gets everywhere. When I did the Benefit Gondola, I was wearing this foundation. When I did my Makeup Geek photo shoot, I was wearing this foundation. I just haven't used it in a few months because last time I used this, I broke out so badly, which is really weird because this foundation never made me break out before. And I'm kind of scared to test it out again, but I have to because I love it so much. If you are looking for that foundation that is going to give you a flawless airbrush porcelain look into this one. Even though it is pricey, I think you should get a sample at Sephora because it is spectacular. This is the Shiseido Synchro Skin Lasting Liquid Foundation. It's oil-free, SPF 20, and it's also amazing. I love this. It has a pump. Mine broke a little bit, but you know. I feel like I'm saying the same thing for every foundation, so please forgive me if I sound repetitive, but it has a beautiful finish. I would say it's a nice satin finish. It has amazing coverage, very full coverage for me, and it lasts forever on the skin. I can wear this for hours and hours and hours. It looks amazing. Next up is the Smashbox Studio Skin 15-Hour Hydrating Foundation. I recently had this, but then I decluttered it, but then Smashbox sent it to me again. So I just threw it in here, and I don't know, but mine is getting really weird. It's like really yellow at the top, and then it's like fading here. I don't know what the deal with that is. It's extremely long wearing and it looks really nice on the skin, but I don't know if I love it yet. I'm still gonna play around with it a little bit more. I think it's great for those of you who have dry skin but can't seem to find a foundation that lasts and covers well. I have the CoverFX Custom Cover Drops here. This is just something you can drop into like a little foundation cocktail to make your foundation more pigmented. You get more coverage with this. And then next to it I have this ridiculously overpriced Tom Ford foundation. I bought this specifically to review for my high-end foundation stick video. It's their Traceless foundation stick and it's nothing out of this world. Honestly, it's like $80. So ridiculous. So expensive. That's expensive. I don't think this foundation is worth the money. It looks nice and it blends well, but for the money, I just wasn't wowed. So for that reason, I would never repurchase this again and I wouldn't recommend it. Now, these guys, that's a different story. I'm obsessed with these. This is the Urban Decay All Nighter Waterproof Longwear Foundation. I used to have the Urban Decay Naked Skin Foundation, but after I discovered these, I gave my Naked Skin away because I was never using it, and I find these to be better than the Naked Skin. I am in 2 shades. I'm in 3.25 and 3.0. I like to mix these together. That's what gives me my perfect shade. There's like hair everywhere. I love this foundation. I can't rave about it enough. I've spoken about this like 100 times. It's super, super, super full coverage. This is the foundation I was wearing when I had like really bad skin issues. My skin was very, very bumpy, very red, and the only thing that was covering it to where I felt comfortable was this bad boy right here. It's very, very long wearing and it looks flawless. Just don't apply too much because it can get cakey. I hear a lot of people with dry skin do not like this foundation. Personally, for me, it didn't emphasize my dry skin. I don't know. I guess it's just one of those hit or miss things, and for me, it definitely was a hit. This is the e.l.f. Acne Fighting Foundation. I had this a long time ago, but then I got rid of it, and e.l.f. actually just recently sent this to me again. I want to try it out again because I haven't used it in a really, really long time, but I do remember liking it. I just don't know why I got rid of it. It has salicylic acid, witch hazel, tea tree, and aloe. Supposedly, it's great for breakouts. It's never broken me out, so I mean, that's a good thing. This is the Lingerie Depot Foundation by Guerlain. Invisible Skin Fusion Foundation with Sunscreen SPF 20. It is a pricey foundation, but it looks beautiful on the skin. Every time I wear it, I'm like, wow, this foundation is really good. It doesn't cling on to any of the dry skin. It looks like your skin. Honestly, it does. I really don't have anything negative to say about it besides the price. And even though it has SPF, it doesn't have a flashback in photography, not that I've noticed. I have some foundation sticks here from doing my recent foundation stick video. This one is from Flower Beauty. It's the Skin Cognito Stick Foundation. This one is the NYX Mineral Foundation Stick, and this one is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Foundation. I have reviews on these products, so I don't want to go into too much detail. Like I said, I will link them below. These two I really like. They're very dewy, very natural. This Anastasia one is definitely suited more for those of you with oily skin. Oh, I have another foundation stick that I also spoke about in that video. This is the Makeup Forever Ultra HD. I prefer this over the original Ultra HD. I love the stick so much more. It's just so easy to apply. It blends in like a dream. I love this. It's really, really, really great for those of you with dry skin. And then the last foundation in this little box, the rest are here off to the side. This is the Ardency In Americana Custom Coverage Concentrate. This one is all right. It's too moussey for me. It's like very thick. I thought I liked it in the beginning, but the more I use it, the more I don't really like it. It's very, very thick and moussey. I don't know, it's not my favorite. It looks a little bit cakey. I liked it at first, but it emphasizes my texture too much. And also, this is another one of those foundations that really settles into these smile lines. So I'm actually gonna get rid of that. This isn't a declutter video, but I'm gonna give that away. I have 3 of the Hourglass Vanish Foundation Sticks. These are 3 different shades. I have Buff, Bisque, and Warm Ivory. Warm Ivory is my summer shade. Like I said 100 times, I already have a review on this, so I'm not gonna go into much detail, but this is probably my favorite foundation stick of all time. I definitely think it's worth your money. A little goes a very long way, and you get really full coverage, and your skin just looks so natural but flawless. I don't know, I love this stuff. And then the last foundations I have to talk about are these guys right here. This is newer to my collection. These are the LA Girl Pro Coverage HD Longwear Illuminating Foundations. They have a white shade, which is awesome to mix with other foundations to get your custom shade. I love the formula on the white one. It's the same as these, but it's really, really good. And then I have the shade Fair, which is my current shade, and then I have this one in Nude Beige. This foundation is so beautiful. I just recently spoke about it in a favorites video. It's very, very dewy, but with a little bit of setting powder, it's amazing. It still remains natural and dewy, but not like super wet once you set it. I get full coverage out of this, and I get a very long wear out of it as well, considering it's an illuminating foundation. This is a good one. It's only $10. Definitely look into it. It's good. Okay guys, and these were all my foundations. I keep the rest of my face products in these drawers: tinted moisturizers, primers, concealers, and then on the bottom one, I keep face powders and setting sprays in the back. Oh, and I also keep my headbands in there, apparently. Okay guys, so that completes this video. I hope you guys enjoyed my foundation collection. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in my next video. Bye. I'm in the shade 52 Vanilla. Das expensive.